guys. It is November 5th, 4th, Wednesday. I just I hope I don't food my teeth. Anyway, I'm getting ready for the day, and it is the day after the election, so I'm not like trying to focus on anything like that, trying to be all positive, but like I wear this shirt today. Be kind. Let's be kind out there. So I'm just thought I'd make a video, a vlog today. I've been wanting to do this, and I want to get started. I want to transition. I want to remember this time and transition into having kids back in our classrooms. And I know some people are super pessimistic. They're saying, oh, you know, probably not going to happen. Other states have tried this. I live in Sacramento, and specifically like Fair Oaks area of Sacramento, with San Juan Unified. But anyway, I don't, there's some naysayers that say we won't be coming back. I don't care. I've adjusted and made the things I've needed to do work. And I got to say, I have 17 students on my roll, but I have 26 students in my class, if that makes sense. The other 9 students have opted to do other things, but are still enrolled at our school in my class. So they're doing what we have the options homeschooling. So they're doing that. But I have established a pretty good rapport with the kids. I've got the 17. I had T-shirts made that say Heidi's kids can do virtually anything, and I saw it somewhere else, so it wasn't an original idea. But I think they enjoy getting shirts, and I delivered some of them, and some of the kids picked them up with gift bags I made for Halloween. So I made them, I put Mad Libs in there and things like that, and some candy. So yeah, I'm reaching out, trying to make these relationships with my students become tangible. So that's really, doing what we can. But I was just thinking I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of where I am with teaching remotely. So what I've been doing is, they tell us we have to have 55 minutes synchronous time each day. That's third grade. I teach third grade. So what that means is some teachers are doing more than that, and some teachers are doing less in their own ways. And that, I think that also means that synchronous time would be, even if you made a video for your kids. I don't know how that works. I know that I log on at 8:30 and I log off at noon. So I'm either talking to them collectively as a group or one-on-one when they go to work, and then I'm talking to them. So I don't really account for the minutes like that. It's really interesting. I instruct for 20 minutes at a time here and there because I do that in the classroom. I don't instruct for those 60 minutes. I don't even think high school teachers can do that. So the teaching aspect of it is about there. But, we read together, and I'm showing them how to take notes, just like I would in the classroom. It's just certainly isn't going to be as effective. We know this. So that's where, that's where the gaps are going to show up if and when we get back together. And it's the reality we live with. But in between all of that, and I think this is missed in a lot of these conversations, there are lessons learned, not necessarily taught in an overt way, but kids are learning to be resilient, and kids are learning to have to forage, if that was lack of a better word, for what they need and what they are gonna have to use. So we're gonna find as these months and years pass how things that we didn't expect kids to learn, they learned, and they're going to also remember the teachers who worked with them and their parents who went to bat for them. And so if you're one of those teachers who decided that 20 minutes is plenty and that's it, or I don't know, if you meet with your students in the morning and not at all for the rest of the day, kids will remember that. Because when they get together and they see each other in the playground, they're going to compare notes. Not that matters, but they're going to talk about their experiences and what they enjoyed about it and what was challenging. Not in those words, but they will. I always think about that when I'm planning. So anyway, today what I'm doing is it's Wednesday. In our district, it's short day. So what we're doing on Wednesday, we have math centers. So what I do is we're not allowed to do breakout sessions on Zoom, because they're not supervised. Even if we have a parent supervising, we can't do them. At least not for primary. I think that kids in middle school can. I teach at a K-8 school, so they can do breakout rooms. We're not. So what I do is I dark out screens for the kids I'm not working with, and the kids that I am working with, the 6. I have 3 groups of 6. Well, 2 groups of 6, 1 group of 5. But anyway, I do math centers with them for about 25 minutes each, and that's my formative assessment time. And I always tell parents, can you leave the room? Let your kid work with me. And I know you want to be helpful, but help them when I'm finished, so I can at least tell where they are with what I'm teaching. And then they'll get a chance to ask questions in a more intimate fashion and not in front of the whole class. So I look forward to that on Wednesdays. And we just started reading Wild Robot. Woo! And I read this for the first time last year. Holy cow, so fun. But this time I'm doing the robot voice better. Roz. Last time I didn't really get the clue. So reading aloud, I probably should have been a theater arts major at school because I love that sort of thing. And I love getting into the voices. So we just finished Princess Bride. Now before you say what, I taught 5th grade for several years, and Princess Bride was really good for that age, but I wasn't willing to give it up when I moved down to 3rd. So what I do when I read Princess Bride is I skip significant parts of it that would be difficult to weave into a story, and it makes it less long, and then we're able to compare the book to the movie. So it's more of a tie into our fairy tales, folk tales unit. So I do read that, but it's not the same as reading it to 5th graders. If you've ever read Princess Bride, it's very comprehensive. So anyway, so I'll have read aloud time, the Wild Robot today. It's our second day reading it, so I'm looking forward to that. So I'll fit that all in, and and on top of all that, when I open today, we're doing government, we use the benchmark program for language arts, and I kind of rearranged things this year because of this. But it just so happens that the government unit fits in right now. So it's about voting and voting rights. And the kids are just amazed that, wait a minute, out of all of us, only 5 of us could have voted back, 100 years ago. Well, maybe more than 100 years ago, but yeah. And none of the girls could? Wait, it's 2020. I could vote that year. I said, okay, then 101 years ago. So we counted 5 kids. There were 5 kids that were white guys, because that's who could vote back then. If you were a white male and you owned property, here's your ballot. But women and minorities, there was not a chance. And I told the kids, if you looked like you might be a minority, too bad for you. So it was interesting to see their reactions to all that. So that's what we're doing on this Wednesday. And so I have conferences coming up in 2 weeks, which I'm going to do remotely. And I'll talk more about that later. But I'm going to check out right now because I've only got 5 minutes before I got to log in with my students. And I can't film up to the minute, so I'm going to stop here.